Interstate 2 from our fire bureau is where we're looking this afternoon, and look at all the sunshine out there. Just a few fair weather clouds to deal with as we go through this afternoon, and temperatures already up into the low to mid 90s, and it feels a lot warmer than that. This is with the humidity in place up around 100 104 right now across a large part of the area, and 100 to 108 is where we'll top out later on this afternoon. Forecast highs, these are actual air temperatures into the upper 90s, lower 100s inland. 88 degrees on the island with those south-southeast winds gusting up around 25 miles per hour. Normal Valley average high is 95. And that hour-by-hour heat index, get that peak heating right around that 2, 3, or 4 o'clock range. That's when, again, when these numbers will be the highest. And even we get to midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, still feeling like 90 degrees. That's what we saw this morning at about 5 o'clock. So not going to cool off a whole lot overnight. And just remember, inside the car, check that back seat, because after just 10 minutes at 100-degree air temperature, it feels like 120 inside the car. 135 is what it feels like after 30 minutes. Make sure, again, check that back seat. It's going to be a hot week ahead. Here's Futurecast, looking at all the sunshine out there. Just a few clouds around. Can't rule out an isolated shower right along the coastal areas, but not expecting it to make it inland. It's just still too dry out there, but there will be a possibility of a few offshore. Overnight tonight, looking just for a few clouds around. Mostly clear, though, we'll call it by daybreak tomorrow, and really not much change over the coming days. That UV index also looking at extreme out there. Remember, without any sunscreen, you burn in about 5 to 10 minutes. Doesn't take much. High pressure and control. This is going to be all the way through next week, it looks like now. High means dry, sinking air, no rain, increased humidity, and that helps keep those overnight lows much warmer across the area. And that pollen count, looking at moderate counts on grass, ragweed, and on the dust. We'll put the algae alert today at moderate, and out in the tropics. Still pretty quiet out there. Really have not a lot to talk about. Quiet across the far stretches of the Atlantic, way out in the Atlantic rather. This was Tropical Storm Edouard yesterday, now just a tropical depression moving again away from land. And then the Hurricane Center is watching this area that is over Georgia right now. As it moves eastward, gets back over open water, about a 40% chance of development. Again, that's going to be over the next 5 days. Other than that, it's quiet across the Atlantic basin. We still have a little bit of that dust out there, though, so be aware of that. That, again, those hazy skies affects those that have sensitivities to allergens of any sort. And, of course, it helps us with the tropic as far as keeping the tropic pretty quiet. Our moderate air quality is actually a little bit better today. It had been unhealthy for quite some time, but still a little bit of dust out there, and that'll be the case all the way through the end of the week. 7-day forecast, the weekend always in view, and this is, again, pretty simple, hot and dry, but the temperatures actually go up even further as we get into the weekend. That's when we're going to see valley average highs closer to that 100, 101 degree range, and just be aware, take extra precautions out there and check that back seat.